Hi, welcome to Gemstone Tarot. This is a love reading for June. This is for the collective. If you're drawn here, this will be a message for you about your love life. Okay, Valentine joins us. She's ready and waiting. There you go, sweetheart. You ready, aren't you, honey? Yes. Do check out as well your individual star sign readings for the month. They are up on the channel. Woohoo! Right, what do we need to know? Let's get straight down to it because I've been really motivated to do this. And also, if this resonates with you, there'll be an extended reading as ever, and the link is in the description box below the video. Ooh. Okay, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot, and I feel like we are going to do reversals as well today. I don't always do reversals, but today I'm feeling it. Now, of course, we come into June with interesting energy. We've got Mercury retrograde and we've got a new moon solar eclipse. Crumbs. I can see why you're here if you're here. OMG. Right. Let's get comfy. Go and get yourself a cup of tea, glass of wine, bar of chocolate, or a healthy shake. You're back. Right. This is interesting energy. We got the Wheel of Fortune straight off the bat, and I like it. But when you get the Wheel of Fortune, it's fierce energy sometimes. It's when the universe and destiny is saying to you, get on board. And again, and I think this came up before, I'm getting get in the boat. There's something to do with getting in a boat. Now, I don't necessarily mean literally, but there is something here for you about healing something, escaping something, realizing something, and also losing your fear of something. Interesting energy. It's very you focused. This, I know that sounds really weird, but sometimes when you're doing tarot readings for the collective, you can pick up on the other side of it. You can pick up on the other person. You can pick up on the situation. A lot of you tuning into this reading are in separation or confusion from your person. It's clear. We've got that Wheel of Fortune, which the universe says to you, okay, Mercury is retrograde at the moment, so you're not completely starting a new cycle right now. You can't start something right now. You can't solve it right now. It's not the time for that, actually. And I know that as human beings, we really want that. It's like, I want answers and I want them now. What the universe is kind of saying to you is, get on that Wheel of Fortune. Get inside that Wheel of Fortune. You are the Wheel of Fortune. That's the weird thing about the Wheel of Fortune. And I guess, and this is such a beautiful deck, that's why she's got this woman on top of the discs. And also why she's got a couple, I love this, of fluffy dice around her neck. It feels like destiny is in your hands. Now, as humans, sometimes we don't want destiny to be in our hands. We want to know what's happening. We want a timeline. We want beginnings and endings and clarity and closure and all of that stuff. Okay. We got the Page of Cups in the reverse. There's something here about when you see this Page of Cups. There's something here about lost energy with somebody, or somebody not communicating. Somebody, for some of you, literally not getting in touch with you, not being vocal, not texting, not calling, not doing whatever it is. Because there's so many different ways, isn't there now, to communicate and to not communicate with somebody on the flip side. You know, there's, God, I don't know, I'm ancient, but there's Snapchat, there's, direct messaging on all of social media, there's actual texting, there's WhatsApp, there's email, there's an actual phone call, or even a face-to-face meeting, although that has become a bit weird with COVID and everything. But we've got upside down energy with the Page of Cups. We've got absenteeism. That's what I'm getting. We've got absence, missing. Somebody is missing from the picture here. Now, you could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. One or two of you, I've got Scorpio at the bottom here. I've got a death card in reverse. Normally, I'd say some of you are dealing with a Scorpio. Some of you are a Scorpio or have Scorpio in your chart. But also, more importantly, because death card is a major arcana card and a destiny card, we've got Wheel of Fortune and death. And the death card urges you to surrender to change. It's not even urging you, actually, to surrender to change. And that's the fierceness of the Wheel of Fortune. It's change. It's not asking and it's not inviting. It just is. That's why often with the death card, you don't really get it with this one. So beautiful. I just love this deck. When you get the Rider-Waite death card, you will see there are people like begging with the Grim Reaper, and there's a king and a peasant, and it's like that whole thing of when this person comes calling, you ain't escaping, you know, it's inexorable moving forwards. So when you get this death card in reverse in a love reading, and that love reading is telling me about absence, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune urging you forwards, there is a sense here of courage and bravery and self-realization needed, which is going to be challenging, but it's not going to also last forever. That's the thing. Mercury's retrograde until pretty much the end of June. So officially, I think it goes direct on the 21st, but you've always got to add on, for me, about a week, maybe 10 days if it's a real shocker, for it to kind of catch up with itself. Whatever you experience in June about the relationship that you're asking me about, you're going to feel it almost in a dream state. And that's a really weird thing to say, but I think you're with me on it. It's going to be, think of it as a chapter of a book. It's an interlude. It's a scene in a film. It's not the whole story. It's like a snapshot, a video. The universe isn't going to let you in on what happens next because you're part of it. In fact, you're the main star of it. You're the star of your own movie. Oof. I love that. But it's a heck of a responsibility for people. Fair enough. Down here we get what I call the minor arcana version of the Hanged Man. Two of Swords. This is the energy of, often with the Two of Swords, you've got a blindfold and the person has two swords across their chest, two aces of swords, two ways to do it, this way or that way. It's neither of the ways when you get the Two of Swords. The energy is suspended, albeit in a more minor way than with the Hanged Man. How does this relate to your love life? Okay. The reason you're not hearing from this person, or the reason that there is stalled communication, no communication, or sort of miscommunication, is because that is the way it should be at the moment. That is the best thing for this connection. Now, that is frustrating. And as humans, it's not what we want to hear, and it's not how we want it to be, because we want it we want it to be on a timeline. We want answers. We want it to move forward. We're often, especially when it comes to affairs of the heart, we can feel fearful and impatient. Okay. The universe wants you to look at that, because we've got two tens. Those of you that watch my daily readings will know that I very often pull two tens together. Okay, it's just something that happens. We've got the two tens that go together as well. We've got the 10 of Wands, and this is the most beautiful 10 of Wands in the world. I love this card. Literally love this card. Okay, this is overburdened, but you're still going somewhere. Something has built up. It's like a plaque, you know. It's kind of, it's, how can I put this? I think you get it. It's like when stuff gets covered in something and then it calcifies and then it can't move and it needs to be dissolved and it needs to be redone and it needs to be reborn and restarted. Get the 10 of Swords to go with it. 10 of Swords, when you get the 10 of Swords, woof, you say woof for a start. Together with the 10 of Wands, it is almost a house of cards collapsing. It's things being so stuck in your head, things being so full of anxiety for you that you implode, but in a really good way. And I know that sounds kind of anti and as if that couldn't happen, but it can, okay? When we surrender to what is, that's when the magic happens. In the situation that you're in, you may have been operating in some level of denial. There may have been some level of minor maintenance, as in, let's say this person had been communicating with you, but not in the way that you would like, maybe in a surface way, in a shallow way, in a not quite as meaningful way. And now there's nothing, you know, it's that kind of drift feeling, the anxious feeling, the uncertainty of it. What the universe is saying now is that all of this uncertainty just builds up and builds up and builds up until you put your flag up. And the flag is, I surrender. Now, for some of you, you may feel you're done with this particular chapter. For others of you, it's just the beginning of a new chapter. That is for you to know, and that's for you to discover, I think. And I think that what that does, because we also have here this 9 of Swords in reverse. I like that. This is the anticipation of things going wrong. This is future thinking, analysing, 4 o'clock in the morning. We've all been there doing it, especially when it comes to relationships. It's the phantoms and the demons and the shadows and all of that stuff. By the time you reach a 10 of Swords in the upright, you're ready to release all this. This is not quick. The release process happens throughout June. It's helped by the new moon solar eclipse. And if there's something that you want to begin, I'm just going to check the date of that. Yeah, it is the 10th. If there's something that you want to begin at that time, do some new moon rituals for it, okay? Because it would be very powerful. And I'm just going to look when the next full moon is after that, because that will also, I think it's in Capricorn actually. Just looking in my moon diary. 24th. Yeah, and Mercury goes direct on the 22nd. Things start to take shape for you around the end of June. But you can't just fast forward through June to get to that bit. You have to actually live this bit in between, as uncertain, as rocky, and as powerful as it is. Okay? Like I said, in the dailies, when we get 2 10s, we know that that is somehow some kind of letting go, healing, catharsis. Do subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you want to get the dailies, the random love readings, the picker cards and all that stuff. Hit the subscribe button and then you will. Okay, 9 of Swords in reverse, 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords. We're letting go of fear, we're letting go of judgment. And then we get the 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is walking away from something. This person walks away from this bowl. Now, where have we seen that before? Here, in the Page of Cups. Do you remember, in the offer or the distance or the lack of something? Somebody gave you something, okay? Somebody offered you, it's giving me an itchy nose. Somebody offered you something You may decide that things as they stand at the moment, this chapter of the book is not the way that you want it. This is particularly pertinent if you are Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio or have those in your chart. This card is a Pisces energy card, and Pisceans, and I am one, find it hard to draw boundaries. They find it very hard to end things. They find it hard to walk away from things that make them trapped or uncomfortable or dissatisfied. It's just something, in fact, water signs in general, I think, Scorpios not so much, but water signs have trouble with this because we are governed a lot by our emotional energy, and emotional energy is not as clear cut as intellectual energy. This is where intellectual energy meets emotional energy and you do something about it. How that happens, what form that takes, will be personal to you, but you will shift this energy in June. And at the moment, and in the extended reading, I will look at the other side of the person. I'm going to draw a whole new set of cards for that because they're not here. Which is, fair dues, but we want to have a dig. This is your thing. This reading is your reading. This is your energy, and it's taken you a while to identify that. You may have been very wrapped up in the other person, where this is going, where it's not going, what they're doing, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, why they are like they are, and the universe takes you and plonks you on the wheel of fortune. It's all about you, baby. You're the star. Now, we don't all feel comfortable in that role, but it's time. Chariot in reverse. For my lovely Cancerian folk out there, this is particularly knocking you sideways. This energy, you're finding it challenging. Okay? You're finding it challenging. For others of you, this is emotional swings. So when we get the Chariot here, two horses trying to take this chariot in different directions, you are the charioteer in the major arcana here. You're trying to control that chariot with two horses that want to take you in different directions. It's not easy, and this is a bit of an emotional roller coaster for you, but the destination is good. I like where this is going. It gives you new opportunities to either radically change the dynamic of this connection, and it needs to change. This connection can't go on like it is. That's the thing. The universe is like, yeah, I hear you. You want things to be how they were in the beginning, or you want things to be X, Y, Z. Yeah. La la la. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. It's just the way this is going. Believe me when I say that this is a highly positive outcome. But also, like I said, you've got to live through the energies of this in June, not try and just fast forward it, which is what I would try to do. Be like, yeah, I hear you. So I'm going to go to bed now until the 25th of June. And then when it's full moon, when all this has happened, I'm going to get up and it'll all be good. Doesn't work like that. Fortune favors the brave, and you are the brave in this scenario. We've got the Two of Pentacles here, which is Jupiter in Capricorn, with the Two of Wands. These are decision cards. Somebody's looking out over the horizon. There's a globe here. It's traditionally, where am I going to live? What am I going to do? But this is a love reading. What do I change? What do I refuse to change? Where can I compromise? What are my absolute deal breakers? You're going to find out in June. You may have felt that you would have done anything to be with this person. You may have felt that you would have, wanted to convince or persuade or whatever that energy is. No, it doesn't feel like that by the end of June. This is a ride for you. This is a emotional, whatever that is, an emotional tickle. No, it's an emotional journey, literally. I mean, I hate the word journey. Everyone says that on a reality show, I've been through such a journey, but it is a journey. Let's call it a book. It's an emotional chapter in the book, but it's taking you somewhere completely different. I'm gabbling. I'm going to go and do the extended reading, and we are going to look at how they feel about you, what is going on behind the scenes with that person, do some channeling and some digging and get some answers. Links in the description box. Do subscribe to the channel. I will see you soon. Namaste.